So you've saved up for your down payment, calculated your mortgage, and you think you're ready to buy a home in New York City? Not so fast. New York City has a way of surprising you at the closing table. Today, I am breaking down the 5 hidden fees that most buyers and even some sellers didn't see coming. And trust me, some of these can cost you tens of thousands, honestly even hundreds of thousands if you're not prepared. I'm Erin Wheelock, your trusted real estate professional here in New York City. And we at the Wheelock team would always love to be your global real estate resource of choice. So please make sure to reach out if you have any questions. But let's get into it, starting with number 5, mansion tax. Now, listen, I know that I've spoken about this in probably, I don't know, almost every video, I feel like, because you could be buying a 500 square foot studio that I think is probably the size of the closet of some people's actual mansions. But if that price tag is over $1 million, you are still paying mansion tax. I will never comprehend this, but it is what it is. Welcome to New York City. So if you haven't purchased in New York City for a long time, I just want to let you know, mansion tax has changed. Now it starts at 1% for 1 million, 1.25 for 2 million, 1.5 for 3 million. Anyways, it goes on and on and on and on. It's just one of those hidden taxes. So make sure if you're buying like a $7-8 million property that you have properly put that into your costs, right? If you're transferring money, you don't want to be stuck at the closing table having not moved enough money. We see that sometimes, unfortunately, especially when people are moving money from overseas, right? It can take a little bit longer. We're at the closing table and they didn't look at that sheet that says all of your closing costs, because sometimes, you know, as human beings, we miss emails or something. Yeah, don't miss that one. Now, I know if you're doing the math, yes, for 2 million, that is an extra $25,000. And let's be clear, this could be a 2-bedroom. This could be like a 1-bedroom, could be a 4-bedroom. Really depends on where you're at. 4-bedroom makes more sense, but it's not the size of the apartment. Number 4, this is a flip tax. Now, I want to be clear. Flip taxes are in co-ops, not all co-ops, but most co-ops. It is a tax that then they put into the reserves for the building. Now, here's the thing is, it's usually between 1 and 3%. If you were in a Michelin building that you were one of the lucky ones who purchased it for like $25,000, just so you know, that could be a lot higher. I've seen those be as high as like 40% for the first sale. Anyways, usually this flip tax is paid by the seller. However, I have been to a few sneaky buildings, and I'm talking about you, 150 Central Park South, and a few others that try to pass it over to the buyer. Listen, everything is negotiable, but as a buyer, you want to make sure that you are confirming in that contract who is paying that flip tax. And quite frankly, when you're working with a professional, you'll know before the contract. Also, just for clarity purposes, I know we call it a flip tax, but it's really not a tax. It is just a building imposed fee that, again, it just goes in to build the reserves of the building for when things happen. So, yeah, I don't know why we call it a tax. Number 3, a real estate attorney. Now, by the time you get to the closing table, you already know that you have one because they helped with the contract. Now, what I would say is on average, they're $3,500. It all kind of depends, but they are usually flat fee, and they go from the start of transaction with you through to the end of the transaction, but they are very heavy in that due diligence period in the beginning. They are 100% necessary. Oh my gosh, we just had this nightmare transaction where somebody was trying to represent themselves. It went on for months, and then thank goodness we had another buyer come along, because I was like, please stop trying to represent yourself. Yeah, needless to say, he's not getting the apartment. So you need an attorney. Highly recommended that you have a real estate attorney from New York City, but there is a fee associated with that. Number 2, you have a application and moving fees. Now, these are usually going to round up to a couple $1,000s at the end, but I've seen them go up all the way to like $8,000, especially if you're going into new development. You're going to have a fee usually that's going to go into the reserves for the building. So just make sure that you're looking at all of those upfront fees that the building has on that application and those moving fees. And also, as a little side note, sometimes those moving fees are refundable, right? They just want to make sure you don't damage anything and you can get that back, but still has to be paid at that closing table. And number 1, mortgage recording tax. I get it. A lot of people want to buy into condos. No problem. Just know that you are going to have something called a mortgage recording tax on the mortgage amount for the property. Now, it's different if it's under $500,000, it's 1.8%. Now, if it's over $500,000 between city and state, it's at 1.925. So I say just round up approximately 2% for that mortgage recording tax. As an example, if you borrow $1 million, that's going to be another $19,250,000 just for getting the loan due at the closing closing table. Now, co-ops are exempt from this. So if you've watched any of my videos about condos versus co-ops, I know co-ops get a bad rep, but that would have been a $19,000 savings. Think of the beautiful art or rug or something that you could have put into that home. So here's the bottom line. New York City real estate is complex, and it's full of costs that some people never see coming, especially if you're not working with the right agent. With the right guidance and plan, you can budget and buy smartly. Now, whether you're buying for the first time, maybe you're upgrading your home or selling, we help all of our clients to move with confidence. Now, if you found this video helpful, please like, subscribe, click all the little buttons, reach out if you have any real estate needs, and of course, send this to someone you know who might be relocating to New York City. We at the WeLot team would always love to be your global real estate resource of choice, and we have that fabulous buyer masterclass in the description box, so be sure to sign up for that. Until next time, bye guys.